Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So now we move on to the problem number 7 here. You can see that here we have to construct a pentagonal prism of dimension 30, height 60, rest on the base of the HP. The vertical face closest to VP is 30 degree to it. So that means when we draw an XY line, we should construct one 30 degree angle line, and we place that our pentagonal lamina with respect to one of its edges on the 30 degree angle line. Okay, that's what given in the question. So we can give the angle here. So we are drawing below the XY line means minus 150 can give the angle. So you can get 30 degree. Now go to polygon center, select number of sides 5. Okay, place it with the edge. You can see here in the question they have clearly mentioned. So we have to make one of the edges resting on that 30 degree angle line. Okay, can change it to 30. Okay, now select that pentagonal lamina, go to move command, select the corner end and place it on the angle line. Okay, again go to rotate, select that edge, the corner point. Okay, I'll show this dimension with the lower side 30 mm. You can see that. Now draw the at least 3 perpendicular bisector to find out the center of the pentagonal prism. Okay, so we know that in the case of prism, these inside lines should be drawn with a thin line. In the case of pyramid, it should be thick line. Okay, remember it. So we have drawn. Now we can write the notations here. Top face and bottom face notation. Top face notations we are writing with the A, B, C, D, and the bottom face notation we are writing with A1, B1, C1 and written within brackets. Okay. Okay, now draw the projection lines upward to complete the front view. So you have to project it from all the ends. From EE1 vertical edge also we have to draw one straight projection line. Okay, now the height it is 60 mm, the axis height. So consider the height of 60 mm here. So draw all the vertical edges for the same length. You know that the front view of a prism is a rectangular face. Show the dimensions in here. So it is cut by an section plane by 60 degree to the HP plane here, and it is bisecting means exactly midpoint we have to consider. So give the angle 60 degree. Okay, extend this section plane. So show the angle for 60 degree. and show that it is exactly cutting at the midpoint. That is, midpoint means bisecting means exact 60, half means it is 30 mm. Okay, select that upper portion and make it thin, because this is the lower portion is what the cutted remain portion, so we have to make it thin here. Okay, now we have to write the cut points here where exactly that cutting is happening. You have to show it. So 1, it is cutting exactly at BB1. Okay, and 2, it is cutting at your CC1 here. So not at 2, it is cutting exactly in between you can see that 2, it is occurring exactly at CC1, and in between C and D we have 3 and 4. So 3 is occurring between C and D. Okay, and 4, it is occurring in between D and E. So can mention that it is occurring, cutting is occurring in between those vertical edges. And then 5, it is exactly cutting at EE1. Okay, now draw the parallel line here. Draw one vertical line. Now we have to offset this, because it is a pentagonal prism. We have to offset for 30 mm. Okay, offset distance of 30, give enter and click. So total 5 faces, because it is a pentagonal prism here. Okay, can give the naming for these faces. So we'll denote it by capital letters here. Okay, now you can see that 1, it is exactly cutting at a vertical edge of B here, so we write 1 here, and the 2, it is cutting at the vertical edge of CC1, and 4, it is cutting in between this C and D. So we have to find out this distance using that split command. I am going to find out. That is 11.41. okay, 11.41 is the arc point. We have to cut it using arc by center command. So go to arc by center, measure from C vertical edge, give the length 11.41 and cut the arc. Okay, this is your point number 3. Then from that vertical edge of from DD1, so it is at a distance of 10.4. okay, you split it and you will get the exact length. You can measure it using smart dimension. From DD1, go to arc by center, give the radius length 10.4 here and cut the arc. So that is your point number 4. And then on the vertical edge, that is 5 is occurring, so we have to project a horizontal line from that point number 5 here. That is point number 5, and then again point number 6 exists in between that E and A here. We have to measure. I'm going to split it to check the exact length. So this is at 6 point, can measure it 6.94. okay, and cut the arc. So from the bottom end we have to cut it, that is from AA it is 6.94 we have to give. So we have to go to the arc by center. Give the length of 6.94, enter. Okay, this is your point number 6 or 1, you can give, no problem, 1 or 6, no problem, you can give. Now you can join all these points with a straight line. This is what the development. Then inside lines I'm going to make it thick wherever the exact section plane is cutting. So I'll be making those lines as thick lines here. Okay, you can subscribe for the channel and hit on the bell icon for the latest notifications. Now we move on to the next problem. So you can see they have given in the problem, that is as shown in the following front view. That means they have not given mention in it in this. You can see that. So that's why I'm not doing that problem number 8. I'm moving to the problem number 9 here. Okay, because they have not given enough data there. That's why I'm skipping the problem number 8 and moving to problem number 9. Square pyramid of dimension 45, altitude 70 mm is resting with its base on HP. Is two of its base edges parallel to VP. That means we have to make sure it is resting with the edge. Pyramid is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP and inclined to VP at 40 degree to the HP. The cutting plane bisect the axis of the pyramid, obtain the development of the lateral surface of the truncated pyramid. Okay, so this is an development of truncated square pyramid. First I will draw one straight line. So here I have to construct a square of dimension 45 and it has to be parallel to the VP. Parallel to the VP means, so first position starts from the edge here. Okay, give the width and height same and place it with the edge. So go to smart dimension and measure. So now this is pyramid. The inside lines we should draw, that is thick lines, because these lines were slant edges. We should be drawing these thick lines. Okay, now mention the namings for it. Mention with the small case letter. Okay, draw the projection line upward to complete the front view. Okay, here the axis length we should give, that is 70 mm. Here they mentioned altitude. Altitude means that is also the height. Give 70. The front view of the pyramid, it is a triangular face. So we're getting the triangular face here. Show the smart dimension. Now here in this plane we have to the cutting plane bisect the axis and it is angle of 40 degree to the HP. Okay, so take the section plane, take midpoint from here you draw a line and give the angle 40 degree, enter. Okay, 40 degree to the HP. Okay, we can extend this line. You can split it up to show that exact midpoint. Midpoint means 75, half means it is 35. Okay, you can split that upper portion now. Okay, the angle also we can show, that is 40 degree. Okay, now in this problem you can see here in the top view, so none of the slant edges are parallel to the HP. That means we should draw one parallel line here separately. Okay, then we have to draw another slant edge here. Okay, that's what we have to do here. So take one horizontal line, or you can measure this from O to C length, arc length, and draw one arc. Okay, because none of the edges for parallel, we have to make it parallel here. That is, I am making the edge OC parallel to the XY and then projecting it upward to get the slant edge length, because that is not the slant edge length here. Okay, so we should do like this. If the edges of the square pyramid are parallel to VP, means we have to do like this. Okay, now we get the slant edge length or the true length, we can say. Okay, now we can mention the cut points here. So cut points 1 and 2, it is occurring on the same point, and 3 and 4 occurring on the same point, but we have to draw an horizontal lines here. Okay, to indicate, we can see that I'll be drawing the horizontal lines to that newly formed slant edge length. That is, your 1 and 2 exist on the same point. You can mention that 1 and 2 on the same point. In the same way, from there also, from that cut point also, we have to draw a horizontal line, a straight line. Yes, we have to draw there. That is your point number 3 and 4. Okay, that is 3 and 4. Okay, now we have to measure this length here. So using distance between command, I am going to measure this length from that apex point to the 2 point. It is 52.65, and again I am going to measure the second length from that apex point to point number 3, that is 29.57. Okay, and then total length also we should measure, that is slant edge length. Okay, this is drawn with the slant edge length, so we have to find out the slant edge, that is 76.889. that is what we are getting. Okay, so draw a vertical line of 76.89, enter, and here go to arc by center, measure this length and draw an arc. You can extend here, because in order to construct the square pyramid we have to cut it. I'll randomly will take that arc length. Okay, now here we have to cut by using arc by center point. We have to cut 4 arcs from this reference end for a length of 45 mm. Because the base edge length for 45, we measure the same length and cut 4 arcs. Now you can say that after cutting the first arc, I am again measuring the radius of 45 and cut the arc, and again can cut it 45 and cut the arc. Again you can type 45 and cut the arc. You can join these cutted points with a straight line. I'll making this as thin. Okay, now using a straight line we can join this. Zoom it and try to join with the exact point. Okay, so that we can avoid the mistakes. So the 4 arc points were cutted. Now we have to draw the base edge length here. You can see that because this is a pyramid, so we have to join it like this only. Okay, now I'm going to connect it to the exact point. You can zoom in and try to connect with the exact point, so there may be some kind of mistakes may happen. Okay, now we can remove that curve point. Okay, this is what the development of the square pyramid. Now we have to draw the development of the truncated pyramid. That means we have to mention those cut points by measuring the arc length here. Okay, you can mention the naming for these edges in capital letters. Okay, go to arc by center, measure on OE edge, so the length it is 52.65, enter and cut the arc. Okay, the same way you can do it for the OA another end, that is also 52.65, you can cut it. And then on the same vertical edge of OB also it is the same length. Okay, that's it, that is 52.65. you again measure and cut on the vertical edge of OB also, slant edge OB. Again you can give 52.65 and cut it on OB length, so that is your arc point 2. And then on OC and OD it is the same length you have to give, that is 29.57. okay, again on the OD also we have to mention the same length here, 29.57, cut it. I can mention the namings of it here, 2, 3 and this is 4. Now we have to join this all these cut points here with the thick line. So remember, in the case of pyramids, so we have to use a straight lines here. In the case of cone, we have to use the curve line here. Okay, that is what the difference here. Remember it. So you can subscribe for the channel, hit on the bell icon for the latest notifications, and hit on the like button also, and share it to the maximum students so that they can be benefited from this. Okay, that's what complete the problem. Thank you for watching the video. You can make that upper part as thin, okay, so that we can clearly show the difference here. So the lower part is what the cutted truncated portion, so we'll make that thick, and that upper portion will make it as thin. Okay, so that completes the problem here. I can see that problem number 10, and this also they have mentioned was front view is shown below, but they have not mentioned that they have not given any kind of data. That question number 10, question number 11 and question number 12, so all are inadequate data were given. So